Imagine a world where your next-door neighbors are not humans, but gigantic beings, towering above the trees, their heads scraping the clouds. Yes, we're talking about giants. These aren't your typical storybook giants, though. These giants are a little bit different. Meet Gulliver, a giant with a big heart and an even bigger appetite. He loves munching on mountains of marshmallows and gulping down gallons of grape juice. He's as tall as a skyscraper, with feet as large as rowing boats. But despite his size, Gulliver's got a soft spot for the tiny creatures of the world, especially chipmunks. Next, we have Beatrix. She's a whiz at knitting, and her specialty is knitting gigantic scarves for the other giants. With fingers as nimble as a ballerina's toes, she weaves intricate patterns into her scarves that are as mesmerizing as a starry night. But there's one thing that perplexes her. She can't figure out why her scarves always end up being too short. Then there's Bob, the giant who never stops laughing. Yes, every little thing amuses Bob. A tiny bird chirping, hilarious. A leaf falling from a tree, absolutely comical. But Bob has a problem. His laughter is so loud it causes minor earthquakes, disrupting the peace of the tiny creatures. So here's our trio of giants, each with their own quirks and problems. Gulliver, who can't resist the chipmunks, Beatrix, with her never long enough scarves, and Bob, whose laughter shakes the earth. Now, how do they solve their problems? One day, Gulliver decides to use his love for the chipmunks to his advantage. He starts observing them closely and learns how they skillfully store food for the winter. Inspired by them, Gulliver starts rationing his marshmallows and grape juice, ensuring he never runs out of his favorite treats. Beatrix, on the other hand, gets an idea from watching spiders weave their webs. She realizes that she's been knitting her scarves all wrong. She changes her technique, and voila! Her scarves now fit perfectly around the necks of her fellow giants. As for Bob, he comes across a tiny hummingbird one day. Watching the bird hum its soft tunes, Bob finds it so amusing that he starts to chuckle. But this time, instead of a booming laugh, it's a soft, gentle giggle that doesn't shake the earth. Bob learns to control his laughter, and peace returns to the land of the tiny creatures. So our giants, with their towering statures and equally large problems, find solutions in the smallest of places. They learn from the tiny creatures around them, proving that no matter how big you are, there's always something to learn from those smaller than you. And in the end, they live happily and more harmoniously in their world of giants.